a big thing that you touched on as well, which I think I saw his sort of reaction. He kind of picked up on that, is the lack of role models at the moment. So that's something to sort of emphasize a little bit. And that's why, talking to people like Tristan and Andrew is a great opportunity for us to actually discuss some topics and give some validity to them as well. And having opinions of people that, have been doing this for a long time and are actually sort of representing the same community which we're in. So yeah.
And what we touched on was they are this archetype of success, what you can hope to achieve. They've got this influence, they've got all the money, the business and all that.
Yeah.
And what point we touched on was we want to, we're just starting out, we're young, and we want to showcase that journey that, look, anyone can go ahead and do this and achieve
100%.
the things that we're doing. So
100%.
That's the mission statement.
And we're students. I think I said it in the intro there, but like we're still students of the game. That's why we're coming on here like super honest. Like we were nervous and we were sort of trying to figure this out. I mean, this is the first interview that any of us have
nervous
ever
is
done.
an understatement. We were shitting ourselves. Five minutes before it started, my God, we were
shitting ourselves, man. So look, let's keep going with it. Though.
And again, with the students of the game thing, that's why we're doing all these reviews. That's why we're going to continue to do that, because we're still learning. Yeah. As always.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, let's keep going.
That's right. Exactly.
Perfect.
So you're all in your early 20s, yeah?
Yeah, all 22.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Well, I think as young men, you're making the first important step, but perhaps you're too young to be having kids and raising kids and starting families, which is obviously the most important thing for making sure that the next society of young men isn't full of, weaklings and degenerates. But this is something that me and Andrew preach all the time, and I'm very happy to see you guys doing it. You three have obviously teamed up and aligned your mindsets and aligned your goals to, achieve something in common.
Brotherhood.
You started your podcast. That's awesome. I'm glad to be here with you guys. What exactly do you want to change about society?
Yeah, so you just want to pause it there real quick. So look, we kind of had like a plan how we wanted to, like a structure that we wanted to follow.
Yeah.
And we were that's where all those questions came in that we prepared and all that. So just this, when he asked us that question, that caught us completely off guard. We're like, he's asking us questions now.
Yeah, 100%. We had we had like a full plan and we practiced it and whatnot, and like doing in real life, especially somebody like Tristan, where he's not afraid to ask questions and go into it.
It should be like a conversation.
Yeah, 100%.
So it should flow like that. So that was a big thing, a big takeaway for us. That we're more so focusing. It's going to be so you'll see in the Andrew interview, we're going to be more conversational, we'll be more laid back. We're not following like a structure. This is not like an interrogation, like an interview. Oh, these are the questions. What's your answer? This is the next question. What's your answer? So we're going to try and make it flow a lot more and have a back and forth. And out of that, hopefully we can extract value for you guys and make an entertaining
100%
watching experience.
And I think later on, Tristan does talk about sort of how what we're doing is good. But I think that the thing that might have, I personally think that impressed him the most right off the bat was just like, like you said, three people that views align and we're coming together to make something happen. I think that's the number one thing that you can see sort of crack the smile on his face as well. So, I mean, look, that goes to show for everybody watching as well, like finding people doesn't need to be 3, it can be 2, it can be 5, it can be 10. But finding a group of men that actually align with your message to make shit happen, super important.
Yeah, 100%. Let's go. Play it.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think, in my opinion, and I know everybody here agrees, there's a lot of degeneracy going around. And if we're going to get specific, it is around the sort of behaviors and the way I think social media plays a big part in this, in the way that we interact as humans with each other, and the sort of ideas have changed. Myself, and I know everybody here, we're very sort of traditional in terms of our values, and we kind of want to bring that back,
Yeah, just like the honor, integrity, those kind of things. So we're like, we're talking about their romanticization of, for example, drug use. We see like the OnlyFans and all that. And even, what is else? Drugs. Yeah, we spoke about drugs.
Yeah, I fucked up there. The point I wanted to rehearse this line so many times. But the third point there was gambling.
Yeah.
Gambling. But lucky you came in with their violence as well. That's definitely a valid point.
Yeah, man.
Again, that's just the nerves.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You can tell. I mean, we
Yeah.
loosen up like halfway
Yeah, we
through,
loosen up,
and it's a
but-
little bit easier. But trying to get the message across after all the preparation and the sort of strings that we have to pull to make this happen as well, it's definitely
There was a
nerve-wracking.
lot on the line, definitely for
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
as you can tell.
Oh
So.
yeah, 100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Let's get.
Whatever song you're listening to, it's always talking about violence, and it's really just being glorified.
Yeah. And you three are doing the most important thing. You have to understand that in a free market capitalist society, because I am a free market capitalist, as I'm sure you are, we're not communists. You have to understand that these ideas and the things that aren't particularly good for the world are always going to exist. So what you need to be doing, and what I would advise everyone listening, I guess, to do, is to avoid these things yourself. I mean, there are lots of people who say, "Oh, we need to ban gay pride parades. We need to ban Pornhub. We need to ban this and that." Look, drugs have been banned for 60 years, and drug use has never been higher. You know, the way to make sure that these things don't infiltrate society is to make sure these things don't infiltrate yourself, and they don't infiltrate your own life as men yourself. You know, I know people, unironically, Republican podcasters who are relatively big. I'm not.
They were wondering who was talking about here.
Yeah, 100%.
Discussing privately.
What we would refer to as degenerate behavior.
If anybody has
They'll
any
go online
ideas,
and preach. The
just
number one
comment it.
way
I've got no idea.
Republican cocaine.
isn't
Yeah.
to attack them at the source, because as long as there's a demand, there's always going to be a supply.
Yeah.
Hacking
was about
people
to
and
say the
insulting
same.
people is never going to bring people down. You know, you don't like gay pride parades? Don't go, and advise other people not to go, and talk to your friends about honest reasons why you shouldn't be going. Because if no one went to them, then they wouldn't exist.
Yeah,
Same
Exactly.
with
that's right.
drugs.
That's
If-
right.
If everyone gave them up, the drug users, the drug dealers, and the smugglers and the cartels would all vanish as well. Well, I have,
People's
I have a
represent-
question for you. So it's not necessarily.
I think that's a really good point.
Yeah.
And it's also something that I've, especially when he said, you know, he raised the idea of like, you know, drugs have been banned for so long, and they
Free
still,
market.
you know, yeah, and people are still doing them, and if anything, it's, you know, people are using them more than ever. I think the super important thing that, like, the biggest takeaway from that conversation right there was the best way to do it, or the best way to quote unquote attack it, on the source, would be to have those conversations with people that you
Mhm.
know, the people
Yeah,
around you.
yourself.
You know, banning these things is never going to work.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing this. I would say we're seeing this in a different scenario as well, similar to, you know, the sort of conversations that we have. For example, we get banned everywhere.
Yeah, we've our TikTok's just been banned.
Right.
Yesterday. Yeah.
And we're not the only people that are doing this. You have, like, you know, Fresh and Fit having similar conversations. Obviously, you have Andrew, you have Tristan, you have Sneeko. All these people are being banned everywhere. Zerka's going to be up next. But the truth is, like, banning it is not going to actually do anything. And I think that kind of reflects with the message that we're trying to push at the moment, is that there's platforms like Rumble. There's always going to be new platforms coming up. You know, we have Elon's acquisition of Twitter that has made it a free sort of marketplace as well for anybody to say anything that's on their mind.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely. I think that was a very, very powerful message.
I mean, the takeaway is there. Look, it's free market society. The demand will
It should
always
be.
be there. The demand will always be there. So obviously the supply is going to be there.
Yeah.
So it just comes down to discipline.
Yep.
And I like to think back to that saying, that old saying, be the change you want to be in the
Ooh,
world.
there
You
we
want
go.
to see in the world. So it all comes back to discipline. If you don't like these things in the world, you don't agree with these, whatever it may be. First, focus on yourself
Yep.
and the people you surround with. If you're aligned there, that group can only get bigger and bigger. Then that's the only hope you have of
100%.
of changing it.
I agree with that.